Good morning, guys. Another day in the VintageGenetics household. I just finished the cardio. Shape is really still very much there. The weight is below 112 kilos in the morning, which is still below my weight limit for classic physique. I also just did 30 minutes of cardio right there, fasted. It's a very nice routine to have. It's a very nice, structure to have, even if you go to the off season. A lot of people ask me, how often do you do your steps, your cardio? The cardio and steps I'm doing right now, that's what I'll be taking on in the off season as well. The only difference is more food, and the training will be more intense because with more food you can recover more. Anyway, now it's time to go downstairs, have breakfast, and then work out. Okay, we are done with the cardio and we're about to have the breakfast. It's a smaller breakfast than usual because my cameraman Niels, he can only go a little earlier to the gym, so we'll have an early workout. 80 grams of cream of rice, a little bit of banana, and of course final protein. Now this is the only whey isolate you should take when you don't have a lot of time before going to the gym. Digests really quickly, really easily, and also tastes amazing. So this is in here along with the cream of rice, a little bit of banana for deliciousness and potassium, healthiness, vitamins, minerals, etc. And who is this over here? Are you little Laura? Ah, little Dexter is over there. He almost finished his breakfast, but not entirely. If you want to grow, Dex, you do gotta eat your breakfast. We have arrived at the gym and I'm holding a scoop. I already had my Nitro X pre-workout at home. I always have one at home and one here, depending on the situation. But right now we are going to use the Intra-workout supplement because the coach has allowed carbs intra-workout again. Before, if you saw my videos, I used mTOR, 30 grams of EAAs and nothing else. And now I'm able to use 60 grams of intra, and half of those 60 grams is pure maltodextrin. So we're gonna take out 60 grams of here. And by the way, as I always say, if it tastes good, then it's way easier to actually drink all of your water. So as you can see, I'm having 2 shaker cups, which I fill completely with water, and I drink this very easily during the workout, and that allows for better hydration as well. Compared to a regular intra-workout, this also contains things like creatine, extra minerals, PeptoPro, extra amino acids to make sure this is actually a true intra-workout, not just an intra-workout carb source. So we are going to enjoy this. However, adding just a little bit of Himalayan pink salt for the extra pump, and also L-carnitine by ESN is very good for making your anabolism more sensitive in your body, your receptors, and also makes it easier for your body to shift the energy burned to fatty acids compared to energy or obviously amino acids. So now that your intra is done, it is time to train the back. Alrighty, we are now downstairs in the gym and it's time to train the back. We're gonna get started with a pull-down variation, one of my favorites. Just a pull-down, shoulder width handles to ensure you can really go down and contract. If it's too narrow, you can't really go down. If it's too wide, you become too weak. So this is a nice middle ground to get a good stretch and a good contraction. Let's go. Put a dumbbell on the bench to make sure it doesn't get in imbalance, because you want to be as balanced and steady as possible here. Let's go at least for 10 plus reps. So this was 7 kilos less and did 2 reps more, which is a good increase with such a small weight decrease. So yeah, this exercise is done, and now it's time for a rowing movement. Now it's time to do a rowing movement, and we're going to use the exact same attachment for the row, because as I mentioned, shoulder width is the width that I really like to work the back in, not too wide, not too narrow. So I'm going to do the exact same. Also chest supported with the exact same bench, but this time from a different angle, transforming it from a pull down motion to a rowing motion. Whew, time for the heaviest working set. A very heavy one, so it's filled up with weights as you can see. So let's give it a shot. Nine reps, and for back, especially for rowing movements, very acceptable. Honestly, anything above 5 or 6 reps is still acceptable, but not after a contest. So 9 reps, around 10 to me, the lowest rep range is a very acceptable number. Going to do this one more time, and then with a lighter weight. It's a nice increase, 16 reps, and it's I think around a 15% decrease in weight, but we did 6 reps more, so that means the carbs, the recovery, the strength is greatly increasing 8 days after the show, which is a great thing to experience. It's time for the seal row. This is the uncheatable bent over row. Basically, you can't use body language in terms of momentum, moving the body. This is simply an up and down motion here, and it's much heavier than a bent over row. So, but it's a very good row that obviously doesn't put any stress on the lower back. So let's do this. And by the way, this is an ATX cambered bar, and this bar then pulls around the bench, which is ideal for a row like this. All right, guys, we took off the oversized Stay Golden t-shirt for this. The classic dropped armhole tank top available on VintageGenetics.com, link down below. Always, what I like to do is walking in between sets to ensure that you burn extra calories without any fatigue being caused. So just walking, your body is very efficient in walking. What that means is that you burn usually fat, because slow movements burn fat almost purely, but there's almost zero fatigue that is being caused. So that's why walking is the best form of cardio. You should walk as much as possible, and until you can't lose fat up until a certain point, then only then you add the cardio. But walking between sets, you can easily do 2 to 3 to even 4,000 steps in a workout without it impeding on your workout performance. So it's a helpful tip to apply to your own day. Working set number 3. Now we're done with the heavy back movements. I'm gonna do one isolation now, and then one rear delt, and then biceps, and we're done, so let's go. Cable pullover time. It's a nice isolation finisher for the lats specifically, and the lower lats. You can really work on that area with this one as long as you feel the stretch and the contraction. Let's do this. One way to find out if you are truly reaching failure is the involuntarily slowing down of the reps. So for example, I just did 11 reps, even 12 reps with the same speed, but rep number 13 went slower without me actually causing the slowness. The muscles themselves, fatigue within the muscle, it can't recruit, it doesn't have the energy to recruit as many motor units with the same amount of intensity to do the same speed as the first rep. So then you know you are approaching failure, and if you want to stick right before failure, then that's the rep you should end the set with. Next movement is for the rear delts again. Love this one, reverse pec deck, allows you to isolate the rear delts without anything else. And I want to stay around 15 or more reps with this one, so the weight isn't super heavy. You know, I'm only doing 2 work sets on this one, no need for more. If you have weaker rear delts, I recommend doing 3 or 4, even 2 different exercises for this, but the balance is there. And now it's time to kill the biceps. I simply love the preacher curl. Feels great on the stretch, feels great on the contraction, and I like to alternate them between the easy curl bar and the straight bar, right here for example. And that way you get the biceps in a slightly different way, but for people who have trouble rotating the wrists all the way like this and it hurts to do a straight bar, this one is ideal. Now we're also going to do a slightly closer grip to emphasize the outside of the bicep, but moreover, it just feels better for the mind-muscle connection. Let's do this. That's pretty heavy, so that's 10 reps. And even though the weight isn't very heavy, but you can, for me personally, in my opinion, if you go for isolation movements on smaller muscle groups, you really shouldn't go very heavy, and heavy is relative, but if you do a full range of motion, slow and controlled, which is what you should do for isolation movements, especially for biceps or triceps, which are injury sensitive, then you can't really go heavy on an exercise like this. So yeah, stick to lighter weights at first if you want your arms to grow, and then move up in weight until like the 8 to 10 rep range as the lowest rep range for arms, for example. And we're gonna do 1 more set of this, and then 2 more sets of a lighter weight to increase the reps. Oh, that feels good, guys. So that's the back and biceps finished. Now 2 short sets of abs and then we're completely done. Okay, we're doing the rope crunches here. We're doing the full stack. And a lot of people, they think they can only train the abs by doing body weight movements, but the abs is the same muscle type as all the other muscles in the body. So why do body weight stuff if you want to grow a muscle? So we're gonna do exact same progressive overload, heavy resistance for the abs. And I always wanna look at the abs when I'm training them to ensure they are not, the middle part doesn't bulge out, because then you won't create flat abs, but you will actually create abs that in totality stick out, but you only want the rectus abdominis to stick out and the the transverse abdominis to pull the abs in, and those 2 functions you want to activate at the same time. So just 1 more set of this, and that's enough to stimulate the abs. I might increase it to 3 sets later on, but maintenance of the abs when you're close to another contest is more important, trying to make them grow, because in my opinion, once you got the abs, you have to maintain them with direct ab work. If you think squats, tricep extensions, deadlifts will develop or even maintain your ab, in my opinion, you're wrong, because I tried to do that and my abs started to become more shallow, which really hurt the look previous year. And this year, the look improved dramatically in terms of ab definition. So I'm very happy that with this, you can really create a much better physique. Woo. That's it for the abs, guys. And that was the workout. We did the back, the rear delts, the biceps, the abs. And of course, no cardio post-workout now, at least for a while. So what it is time for? The post-workout meal, which is of course very delicious. Let's go. All right, we are now upstairs in the office, and what I always like to do is create the post-workout meal at home. Well, actually I created it the day before, let it stiffen up in the fridge. And what it is this right here. So what we have is cream of rice at the bottom, a little bit of strawberries, and also some Calabout chocolate. And then on top we have the ESN Designer Whey paste. I make a paste out of it, adding 60 grams of Designer Whey, 40 grams, mils of water, mix it up, put it in the fridge, and the next day it's a nice paste or frosting for on top of your cream of rice to make it taste a whole lot better and it's delicious and it has the protein you need post-workout. So anyway guys, that's the post-workout meal, and yeah, I'm gonna eat this. Enjoy this, and don't forget to check the link down below to use code Wesley to get a discount on all ESN products on esn.com. And I'm also going to show you a little bit of the meals that me and I got home, but for now, let's enjoy this one. Alrighty guys, now I got home and it's time to show you some of the meals, and actually this particular meal that I like to eat as a post-workout meal, which is of course also very important. And it is important because, as you can see, there is a carb source here. So after the training I have a cream of rice, and then a post-workout meal is with some basmati rice or pandan rice or golden rice. This isn't golden rice because I happen to have a steaming bag of rice, microwavable bag, that has the exact macros I need. Also a lot of vegetables here, cucumber for volume, a little bit of pepper, zucchini, and mushroom, and here we have the protein source, the delicious white fish. So I'm definitely going to enjoy this one. Alright guys, it is now the next day, and pretty much all of the meal you saw. 2 meals after that were the same, and the last meal is 0 carb, and today is a rest day, so just did the cardio, did some posing, and today is just going to be a simple rest day with simple rest day foods. First 3 meals will have carbs, the last 3 meals won't, and tomorrow morning me and Stefan, the coach, will decide if we're going to change the food, and if we're going to change it, it's only going to go up and not down just yet. But on a less positive note, Dexter has a little fever, 40 degrees Celsius. That is not fun, but he is a very big boy. He doesn't complain, and he will get better very quickly. Won't you, little Dexter? Yes, he will. And Laura is just sitting here like a queen. And of course, Marley is the queen from both of them, taking very good care of her little babies. Marley says she actually thinks, that she is the slave of both of them, making sure they get everything they need. Anyway, this is the video. Thank you very much for watching. Motivation for the Olympia is sky high. We still have 68 days to go, so under 10 weeks. That's still, to my experience, quite a long time to make good improvements. Anyway, thank you once more. Don't forget to check out the links down below for Value and ESN products. Use my code Wesley for a discount and to let them know that you support me. Once again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay